I've been told I need to develop more executive presence. But every time I ask what that means, I get vague answers like carry yourself with more gravitas or speak with confidence. It feels like trying to hit a moving target. I know I do good work, I think strategically, I lead a capable team and I deliver results, but I'm starting to feel like that's not enough. The leaders who seems to rise fastest are the ones who present well, have strong opinions, and seem effortlessly confident in rooms with senior leadership. Now, how do I develop, quote, executive presence in a way that feels real and not just performative? Can't my work or my team's results do the talking? I know I'm an extrovert. No, I'm an introvert. So so over to you, Seok Hian. Okay. Anyway, so let's What are your thoughts of this whole thing about executive presence for this person?
Okay, so I think executive presence, yes, can be very fluid, abstract. I think it's really to kind of understand more about what is the organizational expectations on that. But from the way the writer wrote the letter, he talked about, can my work or my team's results do the talking? There seems to be certain associations or meaning behind that, meaning there could be some assumptions that, okay, results speaks for itself, for example. Yeah, and there might be some association to negative association to performative, like that could be maybe it's just for show or something. I think these are, from a coaching perspective, these are worthwhile exploration to go with the writer of this letter. So a lot of very, very smart people actually have this struggle. In fact, yesterday I just had a coaching conversation with a chief strategy officer, and it was this exact similar topic that we actually were talking about. Yeah, because she would say that how come everybody have the perception that I challenge them, and a lot of time just trying to clarify, it's like why people don't like me, that kind of thing. And so she asked me the question that, how can I balance being polite and friendly from telling the truth? Yeah, so for this situation is that I shared the concept of between self-indulgence and authenticity, because she was struggling with being authentic. So how do you know that you're being authentic? By speaking your mind. Don't have to sugarcoat or don't have to be so performative in the way you deliver it, versus you're just being self-indulging on yourself. You don't want to improve or you don't want to grow. Because a lot of times is for my client's case, I told her, I say that if it is useful to be some level of performative, like be more friendly or warmer to get things done, because that is where people become open with you and they are receptive to your feedback. The deeper level of values, which is to actually be effective, then is the higher order of hierarchy, because in core values there are actually different order, there are higher order values. Yes, but if you just stick to I'm just telling the truth, why should I sugarcoat? And I don't mind if you're not happy, it's your problem, right? If you come from that end, then it's very hard to tell, is this indulgence or actually is this being authentic? Yeah, so that's something for her to think about in my client's case. Yeah, so for this case, for the writer,
explain a little bit. Sorry, just it feels like the two words are the same to a certain extent. I mean, as in authentic is like I just show up as how I want it to be, who I am, and versus self-indulgence. What's the difference again?
Okay, to me, I think self-indulgence is very much about you do what you like.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I'm not good at speaking, I'm an introvert, then I don't put on a show for others. I don't care how people feel, right? If that's indulgence. If I think I'm right, I have the permission to say what I want to say, even though it hurts you. I think that is self-indulgence. You're just going with your patterns. You're not looking at upgrading your patterns or not trying to find a more optimized way of doing things. Whereas authenticity is about how do I be true to myself? right? And understanding that there are different sets of values that might be operating at the same time. And at the same time, being authentic doesn't mean being an a-hole,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, being a jerk or something. So
Yeah.
I think authenticity is a very high order core values where it also brings other people into the picture. To be authentic is to relate. To be authentic is to kind of have optimal, effective relationship, and yet you still be you. In other words, it's being authentic. You don't operate in silo, like sit in a mountain, but being authentic is about in the midst of a crowd. How do you continue to stay and be true to who you are?
Right.
Yes. So in this case, for the letter writer, if to be authentic is really to get buy-in from, to support the results of the team and the ideas of the team, then would the writer be open to be more so-called performative, quote and unquote? Yeah. That'll be something that I want the writer to think about.
Yeah, that's great. Good point. I think
What's your view on that? Yeah.
my view is it is I think executive presence has two parts to it, very much similar to what you said, but I just probably just define it a bit differently in this case. There's two parts to it. So one part is very much got to do with self in terms of like how are you projecting your internals, how comfortable, the keyword is how comfortable are you in projecting your internal self to externally out there without coming across as braggy in this case. I think a lot of times people feel that, I don't want to talk a lot about myself. I don't want to, beat my chest in this case because I would just let my work do the talking in this case, right?
Yes.
But I think that part also needs to be polished in terms of how I can come across more confident in this case, right? So that's one part to it. And what you said just now is a second part, which is also how you relate to other people as well. So there's one part about internally, how you project out, and the other part is also how you can connect and make people around you feel comfortable in this case, so that you can, like you say, get buy-in, get things done, get support and so on, right? So it can't be just like, well, this is who I am, like you said, self-indulgent, that's who I am, I like to behave this way, so you accept it or not, it's really up to you in this case, right? So there's two parts. I'm not sure which part is lacking to a certain extent for this letter writer. If it's the first part about how comfortable in terms of projection, your internal confidence to external, there are a few things that the letter writer can consider. Okay, but before that, I think just to refine it a little bit, I think it's really important to be able to develop this thing called executive presence, because I think this letter writer is already feeling it to a certain extent that opportunities are being bypassed in this case. So as in like, why this person is going faster than me, that they can climb faster and so on. So a lot of times there's this saying that visibility creates opportunity.
Yes.
Right? It's almost like saying that I've got a great product, but if you don't package it well, if you don't put it in a very visible shelf in this case, then no one's going to buy it, right? So even though you say that you claim to be true, it definitely must be a great product, but if you don't know how to market it well, then there's going to be a problem as well, right? So I think that is something which from my marketing days, you can say that you have the best product, but you don't market it well, that's not complete in this case. So that part, I think the person needs to be able to know how to be able to market themselves, right? And there are many ways on how to market themselves well in this case. One would be as simple as just how to visibly appear confident, right? How you dress, how you groom, your body language and all. So that's one point. Second point is also about communication, like what you say and how you say it, right? So that's really important as well. And also when to say it, I think that's really important, not to say things at the wrong time, right? So I think that is the part, the internal projecting to external. The second part is really about connecting with others. There's this saying again called be interested, not interesting, in this case, which means to wanting to be much more interested in the other person that you're talking to, rather than the need for you to say how interesting you are.
Yes.
Right? So you need to be interested, not interesting in this case, right? So I think a lot of times by doing that, the executive presence comes out much stronger because you are connecting with the person, right? I think it's really important that if this person have both things, right, in terms of able to project internally very comfortably to externally, in terms of how this person show up, in terms of dressing and everything, plus also how the person communicate, and also how this person connect with the other person, the people around them, the second part, I think then that somehow it will equals to executive presence. That's my take on it. Anything to add on?
I like the fact that you use the word complete. So clearly this letter writer has done a lot, is quite accomplished, and now have moved to certain seniority, and therefore what he used to depend on that works for him seems like it's no longer sufficient, right? He has actually moved to a new baseline, a new normal, right? It is a good news for him. So, but to thrive in the new normal, new baseline, he might need additional skill sets, and in this case, is the executive presence. Yeah, so I hope that he would not see it, he or she would not see it that it is a chore why you cannot accept me for who I am, or for who I was. I think it's to see it as part of continuous growth, and given that the technical part, the do good work part is already secured, he can actually start to market himself better, like using your words.
I also like what you said about self-indulgence versus authenticity, right? Because a lot of times we have to also ask ourselves that if this is something which you're gunning towards, if you're looking at, for example, getting more projects or being visible to the higher ups in this case, it's how you connect, like you say, how you relate to people around you, and the need to be able to upgrade yourself in terms of coming across as relatable, to be able to speak better, to speak well, or maybe to be able to be interested and not interesting. All these things, you can't just say that, I'm not going to learn that because my work will do the talking itself.
Yeah.
So that's not enough. Like you say, it should be. That is that is the first baseline, because what happens is that I also know of people who don't have that, but they talk very confidently. Those are loud presence, which means there's loud but there's nothing, right? In this case, so we also do know of people like that, and that's not sustainable as well. So I think this person has done the work, right? But like you say, it's just not complete. You need to upgrade in that case, right? If not,
I like
the consequences. Sorry.
Sorry.
No, it's not that. Like I said, the consequences is that missed opportunities.
Yes, it's the missed opportunity. I think I like the person to actually think of, he just without the marketing part or the performative part, he's already performing so well. What could he achieve, and what kind of impact he can create if he take it on, that development area.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to add on for this person?
I think from a coaching perspective, maybe this person sees that, this is a space where I'm comfortable, I don't want to go higher, and therefore, to not want to, I just want to do what I used to do. I think it's similar to playing games, where you reach to a new stage, the current weapon may not be enough, or the armor you need to upgrade.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah. So do encourage all leaders to take on a continuous improvement mindset. Growth mindset in this case.
Yes. You're right. I think the coaching element is important, because I remember coaching somebody as well And I think what was stopping this person is clearly delivering on all fronts when it comes to the technical aspect of the work. But the person started off by saying that, oh, I would like to be a little bit more like my boss, but not so schmoozy. So I said, please tell me more. So clearly the boss is, the poster person for the company, right? So talk and so on. But I think based on her upbringing, and so on, she may not feel very comfortable with how, So that's why it's kind of like, I think knowledge-wise, she understands the need to market herself, but not so much, that kind of thing. So that is where the coaching bits come in to say that, okay, so the question that I would probably ask her in this coaching, what I think I did ask her is more of like, okay, I hear where you're coming from. So what would, you maintaining your technical competency, but also having to be able to market yourself, not being so schmoozy, look like to you, right? So then, so this person can find her style of that, right? Yeah. So I think that's the coaching element is important as well. Yeah.
Yes, it's the balance, like how much is enough, right?
Okay, great. So if there's something else to add on, so let me just quickly recap of what the letter writer can do, is to first of all understand that it is important for this person to be able to feel much more, in order for not to miss out opportunities and all, you need to be able to look at it as a developmental natural progression in order for them to be able to get the kind of opportunities, right? So like what you said, we want the letter writer to consider, to say, look, the baseline is there, you're solid in this case. What if you add on this portion in terms of able to market yourself? How would that look like? So I think is to be able to paint a possibility of, if I have this skill, so that will be helpful for that person as well. And we also touched about being self-indulgent and authentic. I think that's really important because the letter writer needs to understand that it's also about connecting with people around them to get things done, because no one exists in a vacuum in this case. So in order for you to be able to have good executive presence, is to be able to connect with people as well and see and help them. They need to feel comfortable around you, so that things can be done, ideas can flow and all these things. So that is also important for the person's career growth in this case, right? And in cases where if the person understands the concept of having executive presence is to be able to upgrade, but it is not sure how, then that's where coaching will come in, right? Like the case of talk about, I don't want to come across as schmoozy, but I know it's important. So how, right? So that's where coaching comes in, to be able to help this person find the balance or the voice which this person is really comfortable with in this case.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes, I think that's it.
Okay, I think that's it for letter 3. I think before we close for today, I'm just wondering, was there anything that was helpful for you, that spoke to you for today, or something new that you discovered? I'm just wondering, this conversation.
Is it part of the podcast, or you're asking me?
No, we can include this as part of the podcast. Okay.
I think it's I think what comes out as we talk and bounce ideas, and hearing a perspective as well is valuable. It lets me see, there are multi dimensions to any issue, especially when it comes to leadership issues. So it's important to not to just take a one-sider or one single position perspective. Especially if we want to be more strategic or to navigate organizational dynamics. So it's like there is the leader themselves, there is the person they are dealing with, either the boss or their teammates, and there is also a system that is operating around them. Yeah, so and within the person already there are multi-dimension as well, like the identity versus the skills and all this. So yeah, so it kind of like helps me kind of clarify all these things and see how this whole thing is now operating in tandem at any point in time. So that was good.
As
What
for me, I
about you?
think the new thing that, not saying new, but you highlighted it again, is that the dynamics of systems. I think that's really something which sometimes we don't think about. That the fact that
Yeah.
you're swimming in an environment, so no matter sometimes how much you change, but because of the systems, it's not going to be supportive for that
Yes.
change in this case.
Yeah, especially for young leaders who are in the junior, or the mid management kind of thing. They're a sandwich between. So it's even harder. Yeah, I have more empathy for them.